What's the craziest thing you've seen transpire on live TV? 217-629-7970. That's the number here live for Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop at 8:11. Didn't watch the Oscars last night, but it was the first thing I saw on my social media news feeds all around, be it Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It was all over the place. But obviously, what happened last night on stage at the Oscars, if you're not familiar with this, you're living under a rock. It's been all over national news and, again, all over various news feeds via social media. And you didn't have to watch the Oscars to see it on full display of what happened last night. What happened last night? Well, Chris Rock hosting. He sees Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith sitting in the front row, and they're enjoying their evening. And Jada Pinkett Smith is bald, and she's been pretty public about her battle with alopecia, which can lead to hair loss. But Chris Rock decided to make a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, saying that G.I. Jane 2 is looking forward to talking with her. And then people laugh, and he kind of jests around a bit and says, "Oh, that's a mild joke," or whatnot. But then this transpires, and the audio I have edited, so it's friendly for radio, but pretty remarkable as to what happened here. Listen in.
Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow.
Smack.
Wow. Will Smith just smacked out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Microphone picked that up,
dude.
Yeah.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
So your thoughts on that, but I also want to hear what are some of the other instances of just the craziest stuff you've seen happen on live TV. 217-629-7970. That's the phone number, with the Oscar for Best Stage Fight going to Will Smith last night. So what do you think of it? Was he in the right? Was he in the wrong? Is it ever all right to go up and slap somebody? And I will say, Will Smith's his demeanor walking up to Chris Rock was interesting, and kind of a fascinating technique. He wasn't making eye contact, it didn't look like. Will Smith was walking up to Chris Rock kind of head down a bit, and then you see him just quickly smack. Pretty remarkable. But what do you think of it? Will Smith later on apologized. Doesn't seem that Chris Rock is going to be pressing charges. But something that unfolded on live TV last night and getting a lot of buzz this morning. I want to hear from you. But not just your thoughts about what happened last night. What are some of the craziest things you've seen happen on live TV? Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Morning. Thanks for taking my call. Listen, I got two reasons for thinking that this thing wasn't real. It was staged, as realistic as it may or may not have been. Oscars have been just incredibly low for the last several years, and they need something to punch it up, so to speak, if you pardon the pun.
Stop it. So you're saying that the Oscars have turned into the WWE?
Oh, I don't know necessarily that, but they're just looking for anything to try to get people to come back.
Wow.
So, and the second reason is Chris Rock knows that when something like this happens, when you get slapped like that, you deal with it, and you deal with it right then. Instead of laughing at it, he knew he was going to lose a lot of credibility for not fighting back, even if you make a misstep like that. And
I don't know. I think Chris Rock handled it. First of all, he shouldn't have made a joke about somebody being bald, because you just don't know what medical condition they may be dealing with, and it's just not something that is of the best character. I get it. Chris Rock's a jokester. He's a comedian, and these types of jokes are funny. But this person was sitting right in front of them. All right, and it wasn't a roast, as in the traditional sense of, having a bunch of really raunchy comedians get up on stage and roast somebody. That's a totally different set of circumstances. This was an elegant evening, a night out for the, Oscars, for an award ceremony. Yeah, you can have some jokes here and there, And maybe, Ricky Gervais, remember that whole routine he had? That was pretty remarkable. But Chris Rock's joke wasn't of the best taste, and instantly got told that by Will Smith getting up on stage and slapping him pretty hard. Again, you can hear in the audio just how severe of a slap that was.
Out here. Uh-oh. Richard.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Wow.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going
All right,
to.
your thoughts, 217-629-7970. Good morning. Your thoughts on that, but I also want to hear about what's the craziest thing you've seen happen on live TV. Good morning.
Well, I mean, did Chris Rock deserve it? Most undoubtedly. Was it appropriate? No.
Right.
But I can understand with Will Smith. I mean, Jada Pinkett, if I don't forget, she started out as a model, didn't she? And then she went into acting.
Well, and she's also been in metal music. She had a metal band and even came here to Springfield back in the day. They were pretty good.
Right. My point is, though, she already said that she'd been concerned about looking like a chemotherapy patient when she came out about the alopecia. So I'm just saying that inside the family and that no idea how much stress this is or has been.
Well, and even listen, I mean, listen, a woman's hair brings so much identity, and to lose it for any reason, be it chemotherapy or for alopecia or whatever the case may be, there's a lot of trauma associated with that. And you got to think of, Chris Rock making this joke. It wasn't really in the most tasteful fashion. It would have been different if, somebody shaved their head because of a fashion trend or something, right? That happens all the time. People do that. But you still don't know what they're going through internally. And it begs the question of, those types of ad hominem type of jokes should those just be off limits? If it's not at a roast, of like a prominent comedian being roasted by his other fellow comedians. But let's get more of your calls, 217-629-7970. Your thoughts about last night's Oscars and Chris Rock getting slapped pretty hard by Will Smith after Rock made a joke about Smith's wife. 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Good morning.
Well, I think Will Smith was definitely trying to play it up being chivalrous. But you asked what have we seen live on the TV that's happened. It happened here locally, and I believe the weatherman's name was Gus Gordon. He absolutely, it's made YouTube as one of the all-time news anchors bloopers where they lose it. But the girl was giving the thing about a Russian woman that had so many children. She had like 12 or 14 kids with 2 or 3 of them being sets of twins. And they go, wow, that's quite the family. And the anchor girl goes, and quite the uterus. And Gus loses it.
I think I remember that. We have to look that up. That was probably like 12, 15 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, he is crying. And then they cut the break and they come back and he's standing in front of the blue screen and he still can't get it together.
Yeah,
He's on the floor rolling. It was so funny.
Good stuff. No, that's a good memory. I appreciate you sharing that. 217-629-7970. So that's an example of something he saw happen on live TV. That was pretty wild. I was thinking more of like, the Super Bowl wardrobe malfunction of Janet Jackson. You've got questions now about how much did Justin Timberlake actually make that happen. But also some other just tragic things that have happened on live TV. Think about 9/11, for instance. How many people saw that second plane go into the tower on September 11th, 2001? And then you go back even further. What was it? Bud Dwyer, I think. The song by Filter, "Hey Man, Nice Shot," is about that incident and an elected official who is embroiled in a fraud scheme or something, and he had a brown paper bag with him. He pulls out a revolver in the middle of a news conference, and well, it's just leave it there. Some of you might know that story pretty well too, but that happened on live TV, I believe in the Seattle area, the Washington State area. But that was back in the late 80s or something. But talking about last night's Oscars and the crazy stuff you've seen on live TV. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Hey, good morning, Bishop. Long time no talk, my friend.
Right on. Hey, it's good to hear from you.
I would have to agree with you. The most breathtaking scene I've ever seen on live television would be 9/11. I remember exactly where I was the day that happened, how it was going down, all that. But to talk about this whole Oscar thing, let us not overshadow the fact that Will Smith finally won a very long overdue award for his acting. And here's the other part of that.
But now he's also got the award for best on stage smack.
And that all well and good and whatever. The Oscars had, to me, this is my personal opinion. Growing up, Lauryn Hill won a Grammys for her talent. And now we've got Cardi B winning Grammys for whatever it is that she does. Oscars, they haven't been good since Jamie Foxx won for Ray. And I can prove that point with 2 words. Matthew McConaughey. The only time he's ever been a quote-unquote good actor was Dazed and Confused. And let's really reflect on who his character was.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey is to the Oscars what Cardi B is to the Grammy.
I appreciate the call. Guys, we got to take a break. I will get to more of your calls, all right? So keep them coming, 217-629-7970. It is the WMAY Springfield Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop.
Why?
Back with your calls about last night's action on the Oscar stage where Chris Rock makes a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith and being bald and reference to G.I. Jane. And then Will Smith gets up and slaps Chris Rock across the face on live TV. 217-629-7970. Here's how that played out if you haven't heard it.
Out here. Richard.
And smack.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
Wow. Will Smith just smacked out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay?
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
217-629-7970 is the phone number. Emailer says Will and Jada need to cash in on this incident and get out there and make a G.I. Jane 2. Who wouldn't go see that after this? They could laugh all the way to the bank, they said. But also some questions as to, well, how public was Jada Pinkett Smith's health condition with alopecia before last night? I don't know that. But I'm typically not somebody who makes jokes about somebody's appearance anyways. I'm not a professional comedian. So 217-629-7970. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Yeah, these people are actors. All of them are actors. So, I mean, it doesn't seem a little suspect, so to say.
Well, somebody said earlier that they feel that this was somewhat contrived because the Oscars ratings have been plummeting year after year after year. I don't know if, it's not like they put up a fight card and said, tonight, you'll see 2 actors fight on stage. What they going to fight about, you've got to tune in to why. That's not what happened. Right, this happened late in the Oscars as well, and something that I think was spontaneous. I don't know if it was contrived, as some may say.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of hard to believe these days, but I'd say to your other question is one of the spaceships or space shuttles, the Discovery or Challenger that busted up.
Whew. That's a rough one. I didn't see that live on TV, but my brothers did when they were in like middle school or something, and yeah, they remember that pretty clearly in their memories. So yeah, the question was, what other crazy stuff have you seen on live TV? Good morning, you're on WMAY.
Well, good morning. Yes, I saw that Will Smith incident this morning on TV. It was somewhere, and it seemed like he was laughing at first, and then I guess his
Yeah.
wife probably gave him a look, and then it seemed, but the phrase, he's using there, I've heard that mostly you hear it from like teenagers and yelling at each other in the street, or women in bars, or, just keep my name, the name out of your mouth comment. Right. But the craziest thing I've ever seen on TV was out in Phoenix, Arizona. It was in the late 70s. A guy with a gun came on live TV. This guy was giving a news.
Was
news
it
report.
in Phoenix? Because is it Bud Dwyer is his name? The guy who was embroiled in like a fraud investigation and he had a brown bag with him? Or
No, this was just some crazy loon who walked into the studio with a gun and held the guy, the newsman at bay, sitting there making him make some kind of read some statement online. And finally the police got there, and the news fella, he kept them from shooting the guy.
Wow.
Got the gun. He took the gun and he says, "No, okay, calm down, I got it." But yeah, that was
that's pretty
TV,
wild.
but
Yeah, that's pretty wild. I'll have to see if there's a book out there that compiles all the craziest things that have happened on live TV. This probably amongst all the stories doesn't even get near to the top of the list, with two guys duking it out on stage, and I guess really just one guy slapping another. You can go into a bar late night somewhere and see that. But still, just the interaction and the language that was used as well. We don't typically have that type of language on live TV. Good morning. You're on WMAY real quick. Okay, that was going to be it, but that makes it. So it's right here on Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop. Thanks for